What's the other team's name?
Don't Let Me Fall.
Don't Let Me Fall versus 5th place is best. Some of these teams, I don't even get it. I don't know. Is that supposed to be funny or just like a statement?
Humor. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Canadian humor. I'm a big fan of British humor.
Me too.
I really love it. Sean.
We should just go to the UK and cast some British games.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
They've got the better team names.
Although why would they take us when they could have really hilarious British casters? We're also having a little bit of a graphical error. Hey, we're ready to go. Okay, so coming into this one, Vigar being banned out, or Vigar.
As expected.
You really standard stuff. And on the opposite team, even though they're two different teams, you have pretty much the same bans. Braum, Kale, standard stuff. Oh baby.
Yeah.
We'll get that map going for you in a second. This map, by the way, we actually had to go out and special order it. There's only one company in the world that actually draws these maps up, and we had to order it. It actually came in from Brazil, so the shipping fee was just unreal.
Yep. They actually use these for the World Cup as well.
Yes, they do.
So you're not putting Lucian in it?
Yep.
We are. Lucian and Corky. Okay. We've got Lucian for blue side. And the bottom lane.
This is a prediction I'm going to make right now.
A Nidalee prediction.
I'm going to make a Nidalee prediction. So Lucian's going to be going down there, and he's probably going to be in the bottom lane. I don't doubt that Thresh is going to be played this game. Morgana could be seen here as well. Morgana, a really strong counter to Thresh. Leona's obviously up for grabs as well. I just feel like Leona falls a little bit behind. Since Morgana came out to counter Thresh and Leona, I think Thresh can at least get the job done, whereas Leona is 100% shut down. Just cannot do it.
Morgana, that's a great
baby.
pick, yeah.
Look at that. So she's going to be coming out here. Lucian just pairs up way too well with the Thresh. I don't doubt that he's going to be coming out as well. I could see a Lulu as well, but we will see how this all plays out. Jax is also up for grabs, by the way. So Jax is a really strong choice for the top lane. But he's one of those champions that he's banned so much that you really don't practice him because you expect him to be banned, right?
Yeah.
So
it's true.
We could see kind of like it's like an anti-meta, like it's in like an anti-ban because you know that people don't practice him. Hovering over the Thresh there, it's going to be Elise actually. Probably going to be the one that's locked in here. White though changing around a little bit here. Nami as well, a really strong choice. I think they have their choices sorted out. They just don't know.
They're just messing with us.
They don't know who owns what champion. I think that's what the issue is.
Okay, so we've got a Nami in the bottom lane.
And a Kha'Zix locked in, interestingly enough. They're not going to go with the Elise choice. I thought that was a little bit of a stronger way to go.
I don't even think I picked up the Kha'Zix because he got nerfed so hard. I didn't expect people to play him.
Wow.
Yeah. Shows me. What do I know?
We need a section for bans.
We need a lot of bans would be good. Alright, I'm going to go down here so I can hand you the things.
Alright, so Lee Sin, Jax being hovered over right now, and Brand potentially as well. Now, I don't know 100%, but is Ions particularly a Brand player?
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't imagine anyone to pick Brand if they aren't a Brand player. He's not the kind of champion you pick just as.
Yeah, I know, what was his name? Nightblue actually made Brand jungle pretty popular, but it will be actually Jax and Lulu locked in. So they're going to be, we're going to see Lulu go into the mid lane, Jax into the top, although Jax jungle has been kind of off and on as well, just since Jax got so popular. It's the champion that's strong, it's not necessarily his role as that champion that got strong. And of course LeBlanca is a relatively strong choice as well here. This is kind of fun, adjusting to all this. You got to bear with us here, we can't really...
I can't find the Kha'Zix.
It's there, bro. It's there somewhere.
I saw it somewhere. There it is. He's hiding. Got him. Got him. In the jungle.
I also want to mention that Wrath is going to be playing on Nami this game, which is, we saw him play Morgana there, and I swear he probably plays a phenomenal Morgana.
Yeah.
He's a Dominating 2 player. It's hard to say that he's going to play a bad Morgana. He got a lot of really nice binds off. It's just the rest of the team, the enemy team, was so strong that you couldn't really do anything about it. So it's a bit of an unfortunate situation. Also, Shyvana locked in with the box on Orianna. We saw Orianna come in recently, and I think she's such a niche fit, honestly. I don't think that she's as amazing if you don't have a team that's practiced together. I know these guys have played on 5s teams, and Orianna is amazing on 5s teams, but, seeing that all come down, if they haven't practiced together, it's not going to look too good, I think. And we saw that with the Orianna last time.
I think we might be seeing a Jax jungle.
I agree.
Pretty interesting. Man, I really just want to see the box play Vigar. I really hope we get to see that this tournament. But, yeah, pretty good team comps coming from both teams. Jax jungle is the only thing that's a really question, so anything that's really not proven. And, of course, the Kha'Zix being nerfed a little bit. We'll see how that turns out. It's kind of hard to say. A lot of people are saying that it's kind of the end of Kha'Zix, but he's a strong champion in his kit. So kind of like Orianna. It doesn't matter how hard you nerf her, she'll still be relevant.
It's very true. Now Jax, because he's in the jungle, honestly, Jax is like the one champion that, I mean, there's a lot of champions that you don't want to have next to you as a lot of characters. Jax, though, in particular, he's the grand duelist, man. Nobody's gonna beat him. So if he gets on top of you, he might not be able to...
Fiora? Isn't Fiora like the other grand duelist? What is she got? She's something like that.
You're sounding like a fucking Dota player right now. That's what you sound like.
Come on, man. I have faith.
No, yeah, whatever. It's her title, but realistically, Jax, he was here first. Okay. He fights with a friggin' lamppost.
Yeah.
First of all, he had to get that thing out of the ground.
Yeah, he's a boss. Then
he bent it in a couple of places. Those things in Canada are made out of concrete. How he warped that thing,
yeah, and it's still
without just shattering it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That's physically.
It is physically, but he changed the chemical properties with his 3 fingers.
Wow.
Amazing, right?
Wow.
Not to mention, as we heard earlier from our StarCraft pro, he just gets to see everything. You know what though? With that many eyes, why would you hood the rest of your vision? Why would you wear a hood? Ridiculous.
Probably because the lantern's too bright, and he needs to, something like that.
It's not even in the ground. He just charges it with his electric shock. He's a Pikachu in disguise. Okay, but yeah, he's so horrifying. So in the jungle, when he steps out of the jungle, he might not have the best lockdown. He's got a stun, but he might not have the best lockdown. But you don't want to turn and fight him ever. You never want to turn around onto a Jax because he'll just beat the crap out of you.
So I think I'm sorry. I was getting the little icons. I'm not sure when Jax was picked. I assume it was pretty late. And I think the reason that they actually wound up doing that is because blue team's playmaking abilities early aren't that great. They have sort of passive lanes, and that does give the opportunity for Dragon Raider to pick up a Pharaoh Flare and maybe get some farm. Because I mean, all of the lanes have pretty good wave clear and push. And they might just be able to get to a late game Jax without very much issue with a Pharaoh Flare, which is great on him.
Yep.
And could be an interesting strategy. I like it. It's a risk, but it could pay off.
Definitely, and not to mention Jax. We were mentioning he doesn't have great lockdown potential, so he doesn't have necessarily the best gank potential. He's a nice gap close, but not 100% the best gank potential.
Yeah, he's not a Lee Sin.
But the fact that kind of innately he wants to not gank that much, that's going to allow him to farm towards that Pharaoh Flare a lot faster.
And a Morgana shield and the Lulu ult on top of that, and the Lulu speed up. It's a really good comp for getting the Jax going. And then Corki is obviously very safe, and Ziggs sits back from long range and just puts out the deeps. And now that Kha'Zix isn't as much of an anti-carry as it used to be, it could be rough for them. They don't really have the damage to really deal with him unless the Lucian gets really strong.
I'm honestly going to call it right now. I think that the most important character for purple side is going to be Jax.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the only tank. He's the only one that wants to be anywhere near the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
For him to come in and not be on that front line for his team, it's going to be awful. Yeah. It's going to be terrible. So Ziggs obviously wants to stay way in the back and be safe, as does Corki.
If he doesn't become a threat, then they're going to have trouble because they are running that kind of utility team. But if I did have to give it to one team based on their team comp, it would definitely be purple team, just because I like the kind of strategy they're going for. I think it's smart and it's not that risky, and they're taking advantage of champions that scale really well and are also very safe. So I'm interested to see how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, there is the kind of elephant in the room, which is Tails in this game. I mean, it's hard to not call him the best player from Toronto.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to not say that. So, I mean, he's made it to at least the semi-pro level. He was playing for Team VVV there.
I think the only person that would really give him a run for his money would be Zig.
Yeah.
And that was a different time, you know? It's hard to compare it. It's like comparing the old CLG to, you know, the new Dignitas. It's can't really be done.
Yep. And I also want to point out in this one, Nami, them hips though. Jesus.
You're all about that, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. She's not supposed to be attractive, but she is. I'm gonna have to take some bathroom time after this.
Whoa.
Or some Dave's bedroom time.
Whoa. Whatever. Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, so we're heading out here. Do you expect any level 1 plays?
There is the possibility of Red side going in for an evade because they do have the Morganis there and the Lulu lockdown as well as the Jax stun. So I mean they've got a pretty good pick, and the meta right now is kind of invading and getting some sites. So there probably is some invade, but I don't know if there'll be an actual fight. They might look for like a 1v2 or something like that.
But Morgana though, really good pick potential
Whoa.
here. Does she hit the snare? Oh, she waits for the flash, so they burn that one without having to use anything. Morgana's Q is still off of cooldown, so they're ready to go here. Ward though. There are no wards.
That's so brave from White.
Yeah, I would
Blind
not.
Q from Morgana.
Uh-oh, really silly choice. Morgana
yeah,
bind.
he's gone. See ya, bud.
Yeah.
First blood. Unfortunately, going to Morgana, it's not terrible. If she does back, she could use that advantage to pick up some sight and give her jungler the safety net that he needs, being a Jax. Also, someone who started E first, which isn't maybe what he wanted to do. However, that early pressure, or early advantage, I should say, is... it's not good for Kha'Zix. It's really not. He needs to be able to make some plays early game, and without having flash, we'll see.
Yeah, and they're sticking around here
Yeah.
too. I love this. So level 1 fights have been so nerfed. Like, the potential for a level 1 fight has been nerfed because of the ward situation. You get a free ward at 30 seconds in. Kha'Zix though, he's going to be spotted
they're
out here in a
going
second.
around.
There's Nami. Ziggs, and they're going to catch this one out. White, though, going to get jumped on here yet again. There's no way. Nice bubble. Not going to be enough, though. Stun from Jax. Another kill, and they're going to steal that red buff. And is there a teleport? Yeah, so Anda gets to teleport to top lane.
Yeah.
I love that play. I haven't seen that in so long, but really well done.
That's insane, the advantage that Jax has now. Like, he could have been counter jungled. That's one of the things you have to worry about as a flare jungler, like getting your big camp stolen. But the risk that Kha'Zix would take invading and trying to like punish the Jax for being a flare jungler is just not worth it. He'll just be set even further behind.
Ooh, nice little bubble there.
Yeah, good trades for sure.
Oh, nice Q as well. And Tails comes in and tries to get some damage across, but they will back off. Ions kind of takes a beating in that.
So they do leave the opportunity for Kha'Zix to kind of make a counterplay and invade the blue. However, I don't think he'll go for that. So Jax is going to get 3 bucks level 1 most likely.
Yeah, now usually as a jungler, even if you die to an enemy invade, you can get away with just rotating and stealing the enemy side jungle, that first camp. But when you die twice,
Yeah.
and then you immediately after get your red buff stolen, there's no way you're going to take that.
Especially because red bottom lane is having
Uh-oh.
such pressure.
Nice, the heal comes out, as does the
2 tower
exhaust.
hits though.
So Tails, yeah, unfortunately tanks up 2 tower hits, but they use that level 2 and they use it so well. They force out 2 summoners. Morgana bind, not gonna hit. That would have been the end for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like I'm saying, like them having that push just kind of makes it even more impossible for Kha'Zix to be able to invade. He wouldn't be able to get any help from his bot lane.
Yeah, kind of crazy stuff coming out there. Now Kha'Zix has to find his way back into this game. He's sitting on 7 CS to Jax's 9, but as we all know, those 9 CS are the 3 creeps from the big camps,
Yeah.
whereas Kha'Zix only has 3 from 1 big camp, and he's got Wolves and Wraiths under his belt, so a lot less experience, and we're going to be seeing Jax, I'm sure, making a huge impact and getting that Feral Flare, like we talked about, so much faster.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. How if they can get ahead in their lanes and they can kind of push like they're doing in bottom lane and mid lane and top lane,
Yep.
it's just a recipe for success for the Jax and all of Red Team.
Absolutely. And actually, we're going to switch this around. I know it's a little deceptive here, but a little fight going
sorry.
on in the bottom lane. And 8 CS to 22. And I really don't expect that Shyvana's going to want to get in here. It's going to line up Lulu for a potential to just get in there and pick up that kill. She doesn't have Ignite, though.
Yeah, she also used her teleport already, so Shyvana probably will get a free pack. She'll lose some sort of creep wave, but not nearly as bad if she didn't have teleport, so that is okay. Yeah, Jack's looking for that fight.
And you know what, though? He just gets to take whatever he wants here. He got in there. I didn't see if he got the big wolf, but again, because he's probably going to be going for Feral Flare, keeping track of which camps he gets and which creeps he takes down, very, very important. If he just stole wolf, that is a huge deal.
I assume he did because his smite is down and Kha'Zix is up. And
Yeah.
he actually just used it. Yeah, I do believe he did get that big wolf, and that's... You don't want to be in that situation as facing a Feral Flare Junker. It's just such an unfortunate way to start the game for him.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to point out here, Anda going so hard onto the Shyvana, doing extremely well at denying the CS. 13 to 31. So Lulu right now is more than a kill's value ahead of Shyvana just in the CS score. Corki exchanging with the Lucian, which I'm impressed with. I mean, Corki, you don't see him a ton. Nice Morgana snare with that W to start things out, and man, I'm impressed. This bottom lane, man, it's gonna be crazy to watch when the kills start going out.
Yeah, definitely. When level 6 happens, we could see some serious fighting down here.
Yeah, Corki getting in there, getting some exchanging off, but again, I want to just keep track of that the jungle here and see where they all go. Lulu's backing right now. It does have teleport available, though I doubt she'll use it. And in the mid lane, we haven't really talked about this, but Orianna is actually up in CS right now, 38 to 30. Ziggs is having a little bit of a hard time.
Yeah, I think that might just be poor play from him missing CS because he has been pushing her really hard. So he could be opting to go for trades instead of last hitting and keeping his creep score up. Unfortunately, it's not working out for him that well. Orianna is a very safe laner and is able to farm in pretty much any situation. However, the real advantage that he's getting is as he's pushing her up, it allows his Jax to do basically whatever he wants without any threat of being punished.
Yeah, and look at the Jax, by the way. Just all he's doing is farming. Like we've seen him come to lane one time, maybe. So he's just farming up, and as is Kha'Zix. And for Kha'Zix, though, to be just farming and not ganking at this point, that is brutal. It's going to feel so bad. Not to mention, we got to start thinking about this dragon. I know it's only about 7 minutes in, but you've got 2 kills for your team. You're ahead actually a massive amount on red side. Don't let me fall. Do you start going for it? I think the answer is definitely yes. Jack's got to hit level 6 and get on that jump.
I think as soon as he picks up his wriggles, he'll probably be able to do that no problem.
So, not a whole lot of action happening here, so we'll, I don't know, let's just take a look at the items, I suppose. Morgana has upgraded that Spellfuse Edge, and she's moving her way up to that final product, as has Nami, though. That's a really popular item, actually, in the bottom lane, especially for AP damage champions. Oh, that binding.
And you can see the way that Morgana is itemizing. She is building health as well. She's not going for, boots or anything like that. She wants to play it safe because I think these guys have set out their strategy, and they know that they want to just play safe and push and kind of make it to the late game because they really do have the advantage. It's all on that Jax. It really just depends on how well he does. The opportunity for changing the game around will be the dragon.
Uh-oh. Here we go. First time Draven is getting chased down here by the Corki. Flashing forward with the binding, threads the needle, gets exhausted and ignited at the same time. That's not going to get the kill, though. Sorry, gets ignited right there. But the exhaust comes out from Nami, so they're going to have to back off. Not enough damage being done. Now, is Tails going to hit level 6? That is the question here, and it doesn't... Or, sorry, he actually does, but doesn't have enough mana to back this one up. Jax also up in that top side going for his red buff. Unfortunately, they cannot pull Dragon. This would have been a great spot to do it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're free off for a jungler, right? Like, they're not moving for the map, they're moving for the camps. I think a dragon fight would be blue team's best opportunity to get ahead in this game and really kind of change the momentum of the game from them being on the back foot to them being in the main place. They need to get someone strong enough on their team, doesn't really matter who it is, honestly, just to be able to sort of contest and remove the safety net that Jax has in being able to just farm for days and stack that player. So if they don't start doing something soon, it could be pretty bad. Yeah. And like this right now, they're gonna get a free dragon. That's terrible. That blue side should not let that happen.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and call this dragon not 100% free because Lulu came down, pushed mid lane, and the main reason she was there was just in case a fight broke out around that dragon. So,
It's true.
but
She does lose some farm. However, in the worst case situation, she could have teleported back, right? She does have that TP up, so.
yeah, Shyvana a little bit too far behind right now, and only has that Negatron cloak. Lots of damage coming out here onto Wrath, who's forced to kind of just sit back and take it as he was snared up there. Ions, though, looking for some more damage out here. It's not... I don't think it's honestly going to happen here, and you saw a Q being whiffed there. By the looks of things, Tails wants to play this a little bit safe, and that's kind of his training at the semi-pro level. You just want to play it safe. You don't have to go for the kills. If the enemy team's not dying to your attempts, just farm it from there. And they've already tried twice.
Really smart play, especially based on their comp, like I was saying. They don't need to take any risks. They've pretty much got the advantage they need that they want.
Ooh.
Good actually Q by Morgana, though, the one that she whipped, because she was trying to bait out the dash from Lucian. Probably works on people that aren't, Diamond 1 challenging players, but...
Yeah. Alright, so Anda is actually firing away here on Shyvana here, and it's actually going very well in favor of the Lulu here, and of course it's something that we would have expected. She's 86 to 53 CS, has the item CS, positioning, push power, range, every kind of advantage in the book. Wrath snaring up, getting snared up here by Morgana, and the ultimate comes across. That's going to stun both characters. Wrath goes down here, but in comes the Kha'Zix. Is this going to be a turnaround? Full culling going off onto Tails, and he is eventually going to drop their double kill for Lucian. So that's actually a really nice play going in favor of Fifth.
Absolutely what they needed. They absolutely needed that. Unfortunately, the Dragon's down, so they can't make that much off of it. But that's a great start for them.
Do you think having a bobsled when there's no snow or even hills is an impediment in that?
Absolutely. I think there being no snow for Corki is definitely a bad thing. But meanwhile, Jax gets ganked. Not an impediment for Jax, though. And even if it were... Actually, you know what? I feel like if there were snow, it would be an impediment for Jax, because with all those eyes, the glare off the snow would just be... just brutal. I would not want to be a nine-eyed person.
There is actually snow from Snow Day 6, so...
Oh, yes. Well, he's not around, and that's why he hasn't ganked.
They're playing for the late game.
Yeah, they're... you gotta pair up the Ziggs with the Corki, but not the
He's
Jax.
throwing snowmans and... Alright, let's see. Oh, okay, I guess they're not going to fight, but I really wanted to see how much damage the Jax could put out on the Kha'Zix. But that kill going back to Jax kind of negates pretty much all the advantage that they got. I mean, like, 1 kill on Jax is pretty much the equivalent to 2 kills on a Lucian, who's also going for Trinity Force first instead of the BF. He really needs to get some sort of pressure in this lane, I guess. Generally, you go for a Trinity Force when you need the utility, like you need the escapability, instead of going right for the BF sword. And to be honest, he doesn't really need it this game. He could just be going Sheen and then into a BF, but that really delays his Bloodthirster.
Yeah, this is a little bit silly. And Bloodthirster, of course, is an item that you need to farm up. You want to get it as early as possible. Not to mention, it's just such a massive power spike.
It's absolutely, yeah. In lane, if you don't have a Bloodthirster and you're going against someone with Bloodthirster, you're not going to be happy.
No, it's going to be a pretty bad time. But, I think he's going to make it out okay. He's at 76 CS to 96, so clearly he's facing some problems here. He's got 2 kills under his belt, though, so that's going to negate that goal difference a little bit. We'll see how it all plays out in the end. Corki, it's weird seeing him step into the late game. I haven't seen a whole ton of Corki recently, so I'm not sure how it's all going to play out, but he's always been strong. He's always been super bursty.
There have been a few players in the NALCS who have been playing him. Sneaky from Cloud9, Wild Turtle, obviously from TSM. They're big fans of him. They like his playstyle. And he's a great bursty, safe champion who also does a lot of magic damage. So
yeah, actually AP Corki was a big deal a little while back. I remember that, and it's so frustrating. I just hated it. I hated it more than Lee Sin players.
See, I love both of those things. I love AP Corki and Lee Sin, so I don't know.
Oh, that snare though, that's going to be definitely a death for Wrath, but the heal goes across. Ignite's going to pick up that kill for Morgana. Teleport getting cancelled, actually. Shyvana deciding not to dedicate to that one, but that's going to go full duration on that teleport cooldown. A little brutal, as it would have been a 4v2, but they knew they couldn't get anything from it. Canceled everything out. Now Tails kind of chasing down first-time Draven here. Dragon Raider gets on top of Shyvana, forces out the ultimate, and this is Lulu now pushing down tier 2. Ziggs loops around here as well. We might see a pretty decent fight breakout.
Ooh.
Shyvana jumping back here. Lulu tanking turret. And
Nice.
ultimate from Ziggs.
Oh.
Not enough. Really miscalculated there. Flashing forward. Is it enough? There it is. And Jax going hard here. Gets that stun up. Is it going to be enough? And no. Scumbag and leaves Dragon Raider to die. Brokenhearted, though, throws out that kill. Turns things around. I'm going to go ahead and say Lulu could have saved Jax there if she would have let out her burst.
I think so too. She definitely didn't know how much damage that Jax was going to do. She didn't realize how strong he was, I guess. That was a very odd trade, though. I don't know if any team really gets any advantage out of that. They might get the tower here, in which case it would be worth for red team.
Uh-oh. Here comes Kha'Zix. He jumps in. Is he going to find a kill? Yeah, he does with the W. Really well played. Didn't get the isolation factor in there, but in the end he gets a kill and gets out.
Yeah, so I mean, these trades are kind of awkward. They're not really doing that much. They're not making that much of a difference to what the way that the team fights are going to be played or anything like that, like the way that the kills are going. What they were trying to do, obviously, was take advantage of the fact that the Kha'Zix had just been bottom when the Nami was picked out and killed, and try and get that tower and try and force him out. But there was a little bit too much greed coming out of Jax. They wanted to get that kill, make sure that they got the tower and the kill. But good idea, just maybe not the best execution. So hopefully they can make some improvements to that as the tournament goes on, because those kind of things against a team like we saw last game just might not work out the same way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and by the way, little known fact, as Jax did take out the dragon there, you know, if you put your dodge up, ooh, interesting use of your ultimate for Ziggs, but if you throw your E up when you're fighting dragon, the debuff doesn't apply so long as you dodge the shots. I don't know how many people know about that. They might think it's just a spell that applies, but nope. The auto attack has to land, so Jax actually takes down that dragon so much faster than a lot of other characters. And he takes out turrets as well, considering the passive that he's got working for himself. Uh-oh, though, in this top lane here, it looks like Ana getting chased down. White, though, not going to work out so well. He's going to just run away here. Orianna, Kha'Zix, and Shyvana up in that top lane. And by the looks of things, they may take out that turret with Orianna sticking around. Bottom turret 100% goes down there. And now Ziggs in the mid lane. This is just really, really bad rotating from blue side.
You can see they're getting kind of desperate. They know that they can't fight a dragon. And great plays by Lulu, being able to pick this. Yeah, this is fantastic. Just giving her team more time to push down mid.
Yeah, Orianna's getting some decent exchanges with the command attacks, but it's just not going well. The ultimate misses. And with Orianna staying up here, this is prompting exactly what red team needs to do. They're going to push down that mid lane and put some pressure on. But in the end, they'll actually back out when they see Shyvana's not there.
Yeah, so like I was saying, you could tell that they're getting desperate. They know they can't fight, and they're trying to make picks. That's why they went top instead of going to fight the dragon. They missed their window, and it seems like they're starting to realize that they've missed their window. There's obviously still the opportunity for them to come back. I mean, their team is pretty good. They've got a lot of safety. They've got some pretty good champion picks there, some good synergy. However, I just don't think it is enough to compete with the team comp coming out of red side.
Yeah, I actually definitely agree with that. Again, though, it's all going to fall on Jax. We'll see how big of a factor he can be. Already he's at 2-1-3, so with the biggest factor on his team being involved in 5 out of the 7 kills. And he's got a massive gold lead on his team right now. The Dragons on top of a 3-0 turret lead is just brutal, and that's the global objectives, man. That's
Keep in mind the Ziggs as well. Look, he's up to 60 CS advantage over the Orianna. She's had to roam so much that he's just kind of, no pun intended, snowballed his lane.
Well,
I'm working. I told you I'd get better at it.
yeah, one step at a time. You still got to beat that doctor pun, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just unstoppable. I honestly went legendary on puns on just the one pun.
Yeah, you missed the Dragon Raider pun on the dragon when you were talking about Jax. I didn't want to say anything because, you know, I was saving it for later. But
Hey, if I didn't catch it, then
it's fair game.
yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Nami ultimate comes across, and the shield will go down here for Morgana. In comes White, though, trying to get enough damage across to pick these guys off. Anda's in the middle of the things as well. She needs to stick around, man. She needs to be a little bit more bold than this. She ends up picking up the kill with Corki. Kha'Zix goes down. Nice skew going across 3 characters from Anda as well. Ziggs ultimate comes across. It's going to hit, but not pick up the Shyvana kill. Not enough damage yet, and the big rocket also not being enough there with Shyvana. So tanky at this point. And Jax, though, here we go. Pop that E, buddy. Get in the fray here. Jumps forward. Actually, way too deep here. He's actually possibly going to go down. And the Oriana ultimate pulling them back in. Tails gets a kill there, or gets a Ziggs a kill there in the end of that one. Oriana, just really nice ultimate, really nice ball positioning, but just not enough. This team is just so strong.
Yeah. They're over. Both teams are kind of overextending and going a little bit too hard for the kills, but because the way that the champions are scaling and the way that the team fights are going, the kiting ability, the ability to be able to turn the fights around after ultimates are blown, coming out from red side, they're
Rest
coming
in
ahead.
pieces.
I mean, obviously the gold advantage plays a huge part in that too, right? 10k gold advantage, 9Ms. You're playing like, I don't know, look at that Ziggs, you know, he's strong, even though he's down on items compared to what Oriana has right now. Him being able to free cast with all that backup from his team, I don't know, it's not looking good for blue team.
No, definitely not. And I do want to point out that something disgusting is happening in the game right now. 3-0-2 this Ziggs. Yeah, that's impressive, but the fact that we're at the 20-minute mark and he has 227 CS.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even know that was possible.
Especially considering that he has a flare jungler, right? So he's not like he's taking Race and Wolves every time they're up.
Yep. I'm kind of grossed out here. Although I did see him use his ultimate to farm, so he's kind of cheating.
Yeah,
a little bit. He probably used his ultimate to farm other waves too. I'll bet his team's just raging right now.
I'll give it to him though. I mean, it's impressive. You gotta make for a name for himself somehow, right?
That's true. And when you got Tails in the game, may as well take his CS.
Yeah, might as well.
Alright, so And is coming up towards this top lane. Look how bold this guy is. Like, what kind of Lulu player wants to fight a Shyvana just straight up?
Yeah.
Like, get it in her range, like, wants to fight her. He's coming from behind her, you know what I mean? So
she does have that Lich Bane, which would give her quite a good mid-game spike.
Uh-oh.
Tails.
Oh no, Tails, as soon as he fired that rocket, White should have jumped forward, and here comes Morgana, pops the ultimate. That's going to help out with the damage for Tails to slay White, though. Really nice job, and now it's going to be just straight up Nami Lucian up against Corki Morgana here, and they have still enough in the tank. Nice slow coming out, and they're going to change targets, though, and go on to first-time Draven. Q misses, it doesn't matter. Tails so strong right now. Double kill, and that's an unofficial triple. Is this actually going to be an ace? Or are they going to pick up the next two characters here? Shyvana goes down, no problem. Dragon Raider, raiding that dragon, picking up that kill, and now we've got a push coming into the bottom lane as well onto this inhibitor.
Yeah, so basically just what they wound up doing was winning their lanes hard enough to push on every side of the map, and they don't really have anything to worry about. All they need to do is just stay in kind of their lane formations and obviously get 2 towers, 2 inhibitors without breaking a sweat.
No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always impressed. Oh, here we go. The Q comes out from Ziggs. That's not going to be enough. Still ignited though is that Oriana, so she needs to be a little bit careful here. And Lulu thinks she has enough. It's not though. Here we go. Finally, it goes down to Ziggs in the end from that long distance, throwing out those Qs. But yeah, really impressive stuff.
We can see. Well, first off, I want to say how impressive it was for Ziggs to, or sorry, not Ziggs, Tails to have checked that bush before he got picked out. That's the kind of thing that really separates a really good player from a really good player, you know? Like,
Yeah.
even though he's got the mechanics and he's got the game sense to know that there could be 2 people here, like the dude potential of the bush, 2-3 people, and he didn't die, and they got a free hit out of it. They committed to it, and he made them pay for it. But what else I wanted to say was that the teams that we have been seeing winning have just been having really great team comp. So I'm actually quite interested in seeing how Signature's team and Tails' teams will face off, because there's nothing better than games that are 2 team comps using their timings to really force objectives, and it gets really intricate and really interesting. And I think these guys are at the level where they could win or lose a game off it. So
Absolutely. Now, taking a look at some of the items that are coming out now, we noticed that Ions does have that full.
he's got that Ginsu's.
Yeah, too amazing.
I love it.
So Frost Queen's Claim, okay, I always forget the name of that one, but he's got that, and actually Nami Ultimate coming out, and that's going to prompt for a surrender vote.
Yep, 23 minutes.